LA This Week.
Downtown LA's construction boom now includes this newly opened modern take on the classic Mexican village. I'm Gil Reyes with details next.
Feeling green? Come along for a test drive of your favorite EV. That's coming up.
The force is getting ever closer to LA. I'm Anna Marcos with an update on the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening on LA This Week. 12th District Councilman John S. Lee has always wanted to represent the Northwest San Fernando Valley. And as Gil Reyes reports, that wish has come true. We get up close and personal with LA's newest council member.
I, John Lee.
Meet the first Asian American city councilman to represent Northridge, Porter Ranch, Granada Hills, and surrounding areas. Newly elected Councilman John Lee has lived in LA City's 12th district since 1978. To be more specific, since childhood.
Played baseball at the local park, even being one of the only two Korean American kids in my school at that time. I was elected student body president in 6th grade at Prairie Elementary School. So it was kind of something that I think was sort of built in me.
Lee says he was also inspired by his parents, first-generation Americans from South Korea.
I always talk to him that you listen more than you talk. And I'm sure he remembers that. So as a councilman, a lot of people are going to talk to him. You listen to them.
They always wanted me to be in public service, and I think that has a lot to do with their immigrant experience. They were so grateful for being in this country that they always thought it was important for us to give back. I started volunteering when I was 13 years old, and that carried on, into my adult life.
During our conversation at Oak Ridge Estate Park in Northridge, Lee mentions his 30 years in public service, mainly as a staffer for the two previous Republican councilmen representing the area. He was chief of staff to former councilman Mitch Englander, who vacated the job last year. Lee won the special election to finish out Englander's term. One of Lee's biggest achievements, helping to establish the San Fernando Valley Rescue Mission for the homeless.
And I'm really proud to have worked with the community, listened to their concerns about putting a shelter like this in their community. But now I don't think you could find anyone living in that neighborhood that either has a problem with it or isn't happy with having that.
Councilman Lee says he's focused on tackling homelessness.
We do need to build that housing, but I think there are areas where it makes sense and areas where it doesn't make sense. But CD12 has to be part of that solution. Now, that being said, I don't think the city's goal should just continuously just build housing, more housing, more housing, because I just don't think it is just a housing crisis. I think it is a drug crisis. I think it is a mental illness crisis that we're facing, and I think that, hopefully I can bring a different voice to the city council so that we can start looking at it a different way. I've always wanted to represent this community because I love this community. This is a community that raised me, and I want to raise my children in the same type of neighborhoods that I grew up in.
It won't be long before Councilman Lee will have to campaign again for the job. His term ends in December of 2020. Campaigning is expected to begin in March. Council President Herb Wesson wants folks to embrace their differences and come together through meaningful conversations. It's all part of his Embrace LA initiative.
The fundamental strength of any democracy, of any civil society, is when everyday people come together to solve problems.
A few years ago, we came up with the concept of Embrace LA, and we had an unbelievably successful kickoff. Individuals from every generation, every race, every religion. It was unbelievable, and it made us feel good. What's next? What can we do that's a little bit more than a symbolic gesture? We are in a country right now where individuals are trying to pull us apart at the seams, and we just want to send the message that we are the United States of America, not the divided states of America.
I've seen LA change so much over the years. We have become more and more disconnected in our communities. This is why Embrace LA and Community Coalition are so inspiring to me.
The differences that divide us are minuscule to the commonalities that we all share, regardless of race or culture or religion or no religion or sexual orientation.
It's okay to look different. It's okay to speak a different language, and it's okay to eat different foods because we are diverse and we are very proud to be diverse.
How often is it that folks that live on the other side of the 405 or north of the 10 come south? It's very rare, or the other way around. So Embrace LA is really about opening up doors, opening up conversations, and at the end of the day, we believe that there's strength in unity, and when you have strength in unity, we can create the democracy we all deserve.
It was the biggest party of the year at City Hall as thousands turned out for the annual El Grito Mexican Independence Day celebration.
¡Que viva Los Ángeles! ¡Que viva México! ¡Que vivan todos los latinos! ¡Y con las palmas, señores! ¡Que viva México! ¡Hey, hey, hey! Voy a rendir homenaje a la canción mexicana. Voy a rendir homenaje a la canción más galana, la canción más primorosa, que es la canción.
I'm celebrating Mexican Independence Day.
We're celebrating the 80th anniversary of El Grito here in the city of Los Angeles. 80 years.
And to celebrate exactly who we are, and that is a community of immigrants that makes this country great.
Los Angeles is the city with more Mexicans than any other city except for Mexico City.
De grito, ¡Viva México!
15 de septiembre, ¡Viva México!
And this is just about celebrating our culture, our traditions.
It's a great time to show our culture, our spirit, and to show that we are here in unity with everyone else to keep moving the city forward and keep moving this country forward. ¡Arriba México!
¡Arriba!
¡Viva la independencia nacional! ¡Vivan los angelinos! ¡Viva México!
For us to come together as a community plays a critical role in the social fabric of the city, but more importantly, is the future of the city of Los Angeles. And so that's why it's important for us to be here tonight.
It's my culture. I think it's amazing. I think it needs to happen everywhere across the country.
Buenas noches, Los Angeles, California.
September 21 now has special meaning for Los Angeles music lovers. The city proclaimed the date Earth, Wind, and Fire Day as a tribute to the beloved musical group. Saida Pagan was there and has the story.
Earth, Wind, and Fire, three original members of the iconic band, greeted their fans at City Hall recently, showing their appreciation to all of Los Angeles.
What up, y'all?
Hundreds of City Hall employees turned out for a luncheon in the band's honor and grooved to some of their favorite hits with DJ Mona Lisa. The LA City Council had just proclaimed September 21st Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. The date was chosen in recognition of the 1970s hit titled
Receive a proclamation where you were born and raised is a big difference, and so I'm extremely honored.
The fans were so enthusiastic. On this day, band members took the time to take pictures with many of them.
We're so grateful and that they're here and so grateful that, you know, we're able to perform for them and that we love them and they love us.
Council member Marquise Harris Dawson says this type of recognition is so important.
It's absolutely important to acknowledge the artists that help make LA the creative capital of the world. Today was an opportunity to do that, and every time we get a chance, we should.
For many Angelinos, the music of Earth, Wind, and Fire has a special place in their hearts, so few were surprised that they were honored in this way.
Earth, Wind, and Fire! All right, the best of the best.
Chris Robbins has been listening to their music since high school.
It was wonderful. I just love Earth, Wind, and Fire. They bring back so many memories.
For others, the experience went beyond the music.
I thank the council people for doing this day and really earmarking a place in cultural history that I belong to, so I really enjoy that.
Even after nearly 50 years in the industry, Earth, Wind & Fire is still performing at venues like the Hollywood Bowl. Band members say LA's proclamation means so much because it shows how much they are still connecting with the public through the power of music.
Earth, Wind & Fire has sold more than 90 million records worldwide and has won 6 Grammy Awards. Old Town Mexican flavor meets 21st century living in downtown. Gil Reyes shows us what downtown developers have cooked up.
Adorned with giant murals and stretching over 2 city blocks, Plaza Village near Olvera Street is here. Frank Joe and his dogs have just moved in.
They really put forth like a vibrant culture. So as you can see, like all the kind of portraits or paintings on the wall, I really appreciated that aspect of them embracing the culture of downtown LA and just Latino culture in general.
The Village has 4 buildings with over 350 new apartments, a portion of which are affordable housing units. There's a fitness center, a pool, and scenic views of downtown. In the middle of all this is a pedestrian walkway linking Spring, Broadway, and Hill Streets, a shortcut resembling a Mexican paseo connecting Chinatown, El Pueblo, and Hill Street's Fort Moore Memorial.
So we feel like that this paseo will really rejuvenate the pedestrian traffic in the neighborhood. The project itself has over 31 different colors, has 4 spectacular murals that are part of the project that celebrate the Mexican culture.
Artist Jose Lozana was inspired to create one of the murals.
It comes from a joyful place, so I hope that resonates with the people walking by.
Developers partnered with La Plaza de Cultura y Artes Museum and LA County to complete the $160 million project. And coming soon, retail and restaurants. La Plaza Cocina, a museum and teaching kitchen dedicated to Mexican food, is expected in 2020.
No matter if you don't live in these units here, but if you come and you visit and you want to eat, you want to be entertained, you want to get together with your family, with those abuelitos, with your tíos and tías and primos, here's a place to come.
The complex is also conveniently located to Union Station. Market rate units at La Plaza rent at rates between $2,000 and $5,000 per month. An iconic filmmaker has given a gift to LA that could help create filmmakers and artists for generations to come. We're talking about George Lucas and his planned Lucas Museum at Exposition Park in USC. Anna Marcos gives us an update and a sneak peek.
Makes you feel like humming the Star Wars theme, and soon you will see why. We are on the construction site of the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, but this billion-dollar project promises to be about more than just the Star Wars franchise.
It's a big enough deal to bring out the legendary Star Wars filmmaker George Lucas himself. He and Mayor Eric Garcetti take a tour of the future Lucas Museum of Narrative Art, located in the middle of USC, in what used to be a parking lot. This is also the public's first peek at the largest single gift ever given to a city by an American family. But for Lucas and his wife Melody Hobson, it's all about the construction workers who are helping to build his dream.
You know, I can dream this stuff up, but it doesn't do any good if I don't have you guys to build it.
Thank you for pouring your heart into our building. This is your building too. So you're the artist of this art museum.
The project will put more than 1,500 laborers to work and will provide 350 permanent jobs when completed. 76% of those jobs will go to local Angelenos, but the museum will bring so much more.
Can you imagine coming into a place built by the man who brought us Star Wars and watching that first movie and having him explain what it took to change the world and to create this Star Wars legacy?
Yes, you will be able to commune with the Force here. The museum will also showcase art, digital art, movie props, photography, and cutting-edge technology. This cultural mecca in South LA will also serve as a classroom for the many schools nearby, with workshops, after-school programs, lectures, internships, and festivals. May the Force be with you, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Construction is set to be completed in 2021.
Los Angeles beat out several other cities, including Chicago and San Francisco, to become the site of the new museum. Ever wanted to get behind the wheel of an electric vehicle for a test drive? Well, dozens of folks got the chance to do just that during the 9th annual Charge Up LA test drive event and learned about money-saving programs.
Today's event is Charge Up LA. It is an electric vehicle event. It gives people the opportunity to test drive electric cars. Electric vehicles are amazing cars. They're better for the environment and they're more fun to drive. And the best way to let people to experience that is to test drive the cars themselves.
I like the smooth turning and like the pausing with the brake isn't too difficult. So that's nice.
So you can talk to people all day about EVs, but really if they sit down in the car and they test drive it, they get it. They get what a great experience it is.
I love it. I think it's really wonderful how we can have a Charge Up LA event and then just people get to test drive their cars and they, you know, no pressure at all. That's really great.
Nationally, they're about 2.5% of all new cars sold. Here in Los Angeles, it's about 8 or 9%. So we're way ahead of the curve.
I'm just interested in, you know, saving money on, you know, not spending on gas anymore and just having a renewable energy car.
This year, for the first time in decades, our air quality is actually worse. So cars are an important part of the solution. Driving electric vehicles are a key part of the solution. We're moving in the right direction, probably not fast enough, and we have to make the public more aware of the benefits of them, whether it's cleaning air, reducing climate change, or saving money at the pump.
To learn more about LADWP's EV rebates and incentives, visit ladwp.com/EV. LAX is one step closer to becoming more efficient. A new city app helps detect malicious emails, and Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke visits the Southland. All this in City Beat. Los Angeles World Airports and city officials broke ground on the LAX Consolidated Rent-A-Car Facility, which is expected to open in 2023. The Consolidated Rent-A-Car Facility, also known as CONRAC, is planned to relocate more than 20 existing rental car locations into one 5.3 million square foot hub adjacent to the 405 freeway.
This facility will hold 18,000 parking stalls, so that includes storage of the vehicles, ready return, so when you go to rent your car, it's right there waiting for you in a parking spot.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti announced LA Cyber Lab's new threat intelligence sharing platform, as well as a free mobile app that will help people detect malicious email. Garcetti said this makes LA the first city in the nation to release a publicly available threat-sharing platform and cybersecurity app. Democratic presidential candidate and former Texas Representative Beto O'Rourke visited LA as part of a 3-day trip to California in support of his bid to secure the Democratic nomination. He visited LA Skid Row and participated in a roundtable discussion on equity and justice as they relate to the war on drugs.
People want to be treated with respect. People want to be able to take a shower. People want to have a roof over their heads. People want to be able to get the care that allows them to live to their full potential.
Popcorn, pizza, and a movie. What can be better? Well, not much. That's exactly what some elementary school kids and their parents got to enjoy recently during a special movie night at school.
We're all from Aldama Elementary School to watch a movie, Incredibles, in 32. So, it's everyone's first time to watch it at Aldama Elementary School.
Daughter's in TK, and she's really excited to get to go to a movie in her school in her pajamas today. Today was pajama day at school, so they're really excited about it.
The story of Aldama Elementary School is it's one of the
most popular elementary schools in the school district right now. They have a dual language program, and one of the things that's exciting here is tonight we're showing the movie in Spanish with English subtitles because all the kids can understand both.
Because sometimes when we watch movies and they give us popcorn, we kind of make a mess, so we don't do that sometimes. But today's going to be a special movie. Yeah, it's pretty exciting because a lot of my friends are going to be there and I'm going to be able to watch a movie at schools.
LAPD Chief Michael Moore and Mayor Eric Garcetti joined the second annual Heart of LAPD Walk, which helps to address the issue of suicide within the police force.
The loss through suicide is not just unfathomable, but it's not tolerable. It's not something we can accept. And we must do better in support of one another.
I'm here to try to raise awareness, and hopefully this whole law enforcement high rate of suicide, we can decrease it as much as possible.
There's such a stigma around depression, such a stigma around trauma, and we can't let that be. We see officers who go out every single day and see some of the most traumatic things in our city, and they have to go home and process that and deal with their own difficulties in their families, their relationships, undiagnosed mental health things. And I think too many officers think if they say something to someone, it's going to be bad on their record. And our message is it's not, it's the opposite. If you don't say something, that's when it turns bad.
I have a friend that came in a little bit after me. Her name is Nadine Hernandez-Fox, and she had ended her life to suicide. And I think the importance of this walk is to get rid of the stigma of suicide, and it is a huge problem with law enforcement for various reasons, and I'm here to show my support.
When it comes to taking care of ourselves, we tend to neglect that because of peer influences, because the misconception and misinformation of mental health.
The courage to face your demons is the greatest gift that you can give yourself. Suicide tears families apart.
How we can help each other has been my goal. It is a huge problem, and there are resources that can help you. It's okay to ask for help.
Live painting, art installations, dance, and art workshops were all part of the fun as the community enjoyed the 17th annual Tar Fest.
The 17th annual Tar Fest. It's a free community arts and music festival. We started just as a vehicle to bring people in the neighborhood together, and it evolved into something more where artists and musicians and families can just come to a beautiful green space in the center of Los Angeles and discover art and discover each other.
Nice event. It's really a nice event.
The live music and the calm vibes, it's been really great.
We have actually curators and independent curators produce local artists into the event, and it provides exposure for them, and it's a great opportunity for people to discover new emerging artists.
I think it's a great opportunity, especially for kids, to be able to take notice and see that, that we can do what we love. This is my job, this is my career.
Enjoy a night filled with fun and art. Come out to honor the contributions of immigrants, and it's that time again. Don't miss the music and culture of the Watts Towers Day of the Drum and Jazz Festival. All this and things to do. The Van Nuys Arts Festival is coming, presented by LA City Councilwoman Nuri Martinez. This year's theme is VNAF, the Glow Up. with a focus on the arts, tech, nature, and empowerment. Partnering with the San Fernando Valley arts community, this creative and exciting event will feature art, music, and plenty of free food and fun for the whole family. The Van Nuys Arts Festival happens Friday, September 27th from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Van Nuys Civic Center. To RSVP or for more info, visit tiny.cc/VNAF 2019. Join Councilman Jose Huizar at the unveiling of a Bracero monument at the opening of the Migrants Bend Plaza. Located at the corner of Cesar Chavez and Spring Street, the monument and plaza are in honor of the many contributions immigrants have made to our city. Come out and enjoy great food, culture, and performances. The Bracero Monument unveiling happens on Sunday, September 29th, beginning at 2 p.m. For details, contact the district office at 323-526-9332. The Friends of Watts Towers Art Center present two exciting festival events. The 38th annual Watts Towers Day of the Drum Festival will bring an unbelievable drum festival experience. The Simon Rodia Watts Tower Jazz Festival offers an all-star lineup of international recording artists and local jazz artists. Bring the whole family Saturday, September 28th for the 38th annual Watts Towers Day of the Drum Festival. Then return Sunday, the 29th for the Simon Rodia Watts Tower Jazz Festival, beginning each day at 10 a.m. For details, visit culturela.org. And that's a look at some things to do. That's it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more of LA This Week.